Okay, I'm going to show y'all how super easy it is to make a good, well, I would say yogurt, but it's more like a kefir. And this was originally milk in here. You can see it's nice and creamy now. It has a really good consistency. It's really creamy. And that's about how I make it, and then I'll put it in the fridge after that. So this has been, I leave it by the stove about, usually like 24 hours if it's getting like warmth from the stove. It'll make really quick. But if, you know, it isn't, it may be a little bit longer, a few hours longer. So I start with raw milk, and a lot of people sell these like starter kits for the culture, but I do not buy those. I guess, you know, it's not a bad idea to buy those, but I just don't. I find that it's pretty easy to make with store-bought yogurt, and I used to use, you know, the kind that didn't have sugar and stuff in it, just the plain, and it ends up being really sour. It makes really a lot better, it seems like, if you at least add some honey or sugar to it, because it gives the bacteria something to eat. So I just use like a few tablespoons. That's all I do. I take a few heaping tablespoons, and I'm really bad about measuring, but I take a few heaping tablespoons of the yogurt, and I'll start off in a jar. How big is this? I don't even know. This is half a gallon, so maybe a quart. Yeah, that's probably half of a gallon, so a quart. And then I mix that up really well. Then I pour the rest of the milk in here, and then I put like a filter over so the air can get in. And then I put it on top of near the stove, and it makes really easily like that. And I've been doing this for a long time, so the complications you will run into is if you do it too long, it'll start getting clumpy and sour tasting. If you do it just a perfect amount of time, if it makes pretty quickly, it'll taste like sour, but, you know, not awful, if that makes sense. It'll taste tangy. And, yeah, you can do this with, I can do this with sour cream as well. It makes well that way. But, I would say if you don't have access to raw milk, I would, just buy the best quality you can of milk, and you can still do this. I would try it out once and see if it thickens up. If it thickens up, you know that there's enough, you know, life inside of the yogurt that you bought. And you could try this with a few different yogurts, or you can just order a culture online. And you'll know that you've got a good culture there. But I'm saying if you want to do this quick and easy at home like I do, you can do it that way. And even probably add like powdered probiotic if you're using a pasteurized milk. I would do something like that. So, yeah. That's my kefir / yogurt. It's really nice and creamy. And I usually use this in the kids' smoothies. See y'all later.